I am so grateful and honored that you are joining me and that we are starting yet another Bantaba journey for this year. This is the second edition or episode of Nyimas Bantaba 2024 on ALEX Berlin. Thank you all for your support, love, encouragement, and participation. It has for a participation to making Nyimas Bantaba one of Germany's most impactful TV talk show on migration, women empowerment, culture, and diversity issues. It has been awesome for all that we have discussed together in the past years, and I am more than happy to welcome you to another exciting and, of course, very educative series of discussions on issues surrounding migration. Welcome to Nyimas Bantaba. My name is Nyimas Bantaba 2024. Herzlich willkommen zu Nyimas Bantaba und ich freue mich sehr, zusammen mit euch und meinen Gästen über das Thema diverse Horizonte, Vereint durch Lachen, eine Reise zur Berliner Sitcom-Comedy der Familie Tolu zu sprechen. Bleiben Sie dran. Welcome again, together with my guests. I have a full studio from diverse backgrounds as actors, writers, and so on. This is Berliner Sitcom Comedy, Berliners and the Tolu Family and Berliners, lead by Samson Onoja Itodo as director and founder of this series. Before we get into the discussion, we have 1 hour to discuss. And like I said, I have Michael Davis joining us online. Welcome, Michael. I have Samson, the main man himself, joining us in the studio. I have, I'm not forgetting your names, Antonio, Antonio McLeaf, and I have Paula as well. Thank you guys for joining the discussion today. And of course, before we get into the discussion, as I said, we will play a short video, a trailer of the series, so that you get an impression of what we are going to talk about. Stay tuned, watch the trailer, and then we get into the discussion.
Berlin. Experience life in the Bundes capital of Germany with Tolu Family and Berliners.
But you know, the way to a man's heart is also through his stomach.
Blah, blah, blah. Don't give me that bullshit. You can feed this man the whole world, but he's still going to cheat on you.
Lovely day, and I want to say that my mind is made. Who I want to stay.
Chief, you know.
But the stories you told me are not the same. With the things
I wish it was my birthday now.
In this place, but I finally get around with all of the pain. This is putting me through. It's hurting. It's breaking my.
This is gonna split you out.
What can I do? It's breaking my. What can I do?
Non muta no break. Io sono siciliano, the dining table is not complete.
We spend the money, not be lie. I not feel lie, I not feel lie. What I pass, the pass got you. You don't do, you don't say something. That's so we.
What is this, my friend?
What a wonderful day. What a wonderful start to actually end the day with a smile, with a laugh. This is really amazing. It's quite interesting, of course, trying to see the different cultural backgrounds, you know, from Afrobeats to church music. Because, of course, perhaps Afrobeat is not your thing. You're listening to church music, and then maybe you're listening to salsa also. And then, you know, something trying to bring all these connections together. It's quite interesting. Tell me, how did the idea came about? I know you're being a good thinker.
The good thing about this, you can clearly see the. First of all, let me not forget my German audience. Guten Tag, my Damen und Herren. I want to say big greetings to everybody. And this, what you're seeing right now, is the power of one. We are dealing with the power of one. How important is our individuality? And that is Berlin. They say that is Berlin.
Diverse.
The Berlin is diversity. The uniqueness of Berlin's individuality. You know, Berlin is special because we are all able to be who we are in this society. You know, nobody judges you. You get into the trains in Berlin and you see multitude of color. Like before we started, Michael was like laughing at us. Like, did we all plan to dress in black here today? This is Berlin. You can be exactly what you want to be and how you want to be. And it's diversity in an integrated society. So the play here is about the power of one.
Okay.
You know, how we can laugh with our peculiarities, not laugh at. Who are you? The Italian talks with all the sign. The African talk with a different way or attitude. Yeah. So we want to be able to look at this sitcom, see ourselves in this sitcom, and laugh with ourselves. Yeah. It's not laughing at somebody, but laughing with ourselves. So we are bringing Berlin into this. This is Berlin.
So the name Tolu family. Who is this Tolu family?
Okay, Tolu is a peculiar Nigerian name from the Yoruba tribe. Okay. And I found out actually while I was deciding on what name to name the family, I was doing my research and I found out also Tolu. Also, there are Turkish people answering the name Tolu here. There's a particular, I think, a known journalist here that is called Tolu. So I found, because I was doing my research, and I said, okay, this is good. This can help us plug into the Turkish community or the Germans who know that name Tolu already. So it makes it a known name and also connected to the Berliners. So it's about this family and their friends and their German friends and their Berliners, everybody living in Berlin, and how we are all interconnected and how we live peacefully in this society.
Yeah, so you made mention of like to laugh about our peculiarities, not laugh about people.
Not laugh at.
Not laugh at about.
Laugh with.
Okay, wait. And then as well, if I understand, being motivated through the diverse section or how diverse Berlin is, right? How did you find all of these people?
Great. That's where the power of connections come in. You know, I know Michael and Michael. Actually, the story of Paula is very, very peculiar. It's crazy. We are in the heat of the moment during the filming of this project, and the person who is supposed to play Julie, the character of Paola, cancelled on the night. That's on the night we were having this discussion. Then in the morning, she hit me with a sledgehammer that she's not going to make it. And then I called Michael. I started calling everybody because I was confused. I was thinking of killing the character because that was looking like the only option. And they called this angel, and she appeared on set, and she was natural. And I was like, whoa, this should be the right. This is the right person at the right time, and it all worked out. She was perfect.
Amazing. That's amazing. Antonio, the series unites people through laughter. I don't know how you guys find each other, or was it on set that you guys know each other? But then I decided to call it, it's a diverse horizons, like uniting through laughter or comedy. How did you come to connect with the Tolu Family series?
I met Michael in Hanover. We did like a comedy sketch, and I think he kept my acting. I mean, he didn't forget about it. And then I don't know why he thought I was Italian, which I'm not. So he talked to Samson, and Samson was looking for an Italian actor, and he said like, yeah, I know the perfect one, Anthony. So he gave him my number, and one day he called me. I was like sleeping, and he called me and I was like, hey, I'm Michael. We haven't talked like in a year because I moved to Berlin. And I was like, hi, nice talking to you, Michael. I was like, you're Italian, right? And I was like, no, but I could be Italian. It's no problem. I'm an actor. He said, like, because I have a friend who's working in Berlin in a project, and he's looking for an actor. And I said, like, of course.
You could be the Italian.
I'm Italian. Which part of Italy you want to be?
Why not? And you become the Italian.
Why not? And then he hang up, and 5 minutes later, Samson called me.
Wow.
And that's how we met. And then he sent me the script, and he's also a person who likes to meet in person and to see the energies. And yeah, we met and we talked about the script, and we saw that there was some, artistic chemistry.
Yeah.
So I said, like, yeah, I love the idea, and it suits perfectly to what Berlin is, or to what Berlin wants to show to the rest of the world.
And Michael, you're actually not based in Berlin, if I'm right? But then still you decided to take part in showing the other part of Berlin, diversity that not many people knew about, right? What triggers your motivation to actually be part of this Tolu family?
The motivation is the story itself, the message that Samson is trying to portray to the world, and I find it a very, very strong concept, and I said this is a project that I'm going to stand full time with, and despite the fact that Samson is a friend of mine, and we have similar creative energy, and so we could each time I'm in Berlin, we always hang out together after shooting, because I'm always in Berlin for films. I work in Berlin partly. That's why I used to say I am living partly in Berlin and partly in Hanover, because I'm often in Berlin, and I love the city because of this diversity. The city is multicultural. The city is a metropole that everywhere you go in the world, it's a metropole to reckon with, and so we're just trying to do something good. We're not trying to emulate, but we're trying to create something, trying to give, because we have come to give to the population what we our own share, what we can give.
Yeah, that's interesting. And Paula, like Samson mentioned, you actually came in the picture as a later part, let's say as a backup, and then boom.
Actually,
the rest is history. How did you feel when Samson approached you to be part of the series? Of course, reading through your biography, you are an actress yourself, a singer, but then this is maybe comedy, is this something new, or you're like, oh, I'm just going to do it? How did it come about?
Actually, I live in Berlin now for 1 year and 3 months, and I've never acted in another language before, just in Spanish.
Okay.
This was the first time that I approached a character at last minute. It was a Sunday, actually. I remember waking up and just receiving a message of Anthony. We have a mutual friend from Argentina, Chela. Chela gave him my number, and he said, "Can you come today?" Yes, I can. I have nothing to do. I hadn't any clue what I was gonna do there. Yeah, everything was from 0 to 100. I've never done comedy before, not in English.
She was coached on set.
I was like, okay, carpe diem, let's do it. And I felt so comfortable with the team. Everyone were so nice. So it was like a challenge, but in an easy way, because the partners did it very easy to, I don't know, things clicked. And now I want to do comedy more. It turned out that it's a language that I want to get to know better.
Yeah, so something you talked about, like Berlin is diverse, Berlin is multicultural, Berlin is accommodating and all that. And then you came up with the series. I mean, I was wondering what specific connection has the series to diversity?
Okay, first of all, the idea developed, actually, Michael came for a movie fitting in Berlin. So when it comes like that, I always go with him. I like to be around filming, I like the energy that it brings with it. So I was there, I developed a different idea. We were talking about that idea, and I was like, then in between, I got this idea of a sitcom, which I feel is sitcom about the diversity of Berlin, which should be an interesting story. This is what the world wants to see now. And I discussed it, and I'm that type when I have an idea, I want to talk to you, and I want to look at the person I'm talking to. I feed off reactions. And Michael came alive with his reaction. I said, okay, then let's pack this other idea and let's work with this. And immediately I came back home, I worked on the script. What I particularly wanted to do about this was keep the characters, you know, like I found something that Berlin does. You come into Berlin, you become a Berliner, but you don't lose yourself.
Okay, how is that?
Okay. Like
because
if you go to every section, if you go to Kreuzberg now, it's like you're like in Istanbul. You meet people.
Where are the Turkish people?
yeah. But that is still going to come with the sitcom. In this sitcom, we are going to be introducing all aspects of Berlin gradually, and then there's something even while integrating. I'm an integrated person in Berlin here, but I've not lost my accent. I've not lost speaking like an African. She has not lost speaking like an Argentine, somebody from Argentina, Chilean, okay? And people don't lose themselves totally. Berlin allows you to be Berliner and as well be who you are. So that is what we want to play with. And, you know, like we used to laugh with somebody when you speak with some kind of accent. We want people to be able to see and laugh and enjoy who you are, the way you are. And then, like if you're a Turkish person and you're living here, we want to give them the opportunity, or an African, we want to be able to see ourselves on screen and see our characteristics being displayed on screen and laugh with it.
Speaking of diversity again and multiculturalism, why do you choose then English? Because then it's not, of course, English, everybody speaks it, it's a universal language. But speaking of diversity, why is it not everybody then speaking their languages?
Okay. This is a film.
Or German.
This is a film. Somehow, we can't take it away that English is a universal language. And we are trying to sell Berlin to the world, not only to Germans.
How are you selling Berlin? Berlin is international.
Yeah, it's international, but also show some other
the
aspects.
other part of it, yeah.
Not everything is seen.
Michael want to say something.
Can I come into that?
Yeah, sure.
Because actually, Tolu Family and Berliners is not basically English spoken of a sitcom. It's all languages. It all depends on where you find yourself. If you come to my house, I speak English. As soon as I move out of my house, I speak German. My neighbors are Germans. We're gonna be having episodes where we're gonna be seeing my neighbors, and episode where we're gonna be seeing me outside. My woman is gonna be going outside.
Okay.
Then Giovanni is gonna be out, and there's gonna be episode where they're gonna be seeing other side of us when we are outside, where we'll be speaking German, because that is
the diverse part of it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now you're talking about diversity.
Yeah, I think he correctly expressed it the way it should be expressed. Maybe I'm not getting my point really clear, but he did it better.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the diverse aspect of what I was initiating at.
Okay.
Antonia, you were the German-Italian, right? Like you said, just tell me which nationality and I'll put justice to it. And I think you did on that. And, you know, I've seen like so many different characters. Like the African guy into car dealing, right? I'm like, yeah.
you know that already.
I know that already. Or maybe somebody doing something else. Tell us the part that you played. How important is this role to you and why?
It is important for me because it takes me to other fields to work on, like to work especially in the accents and also the foreign culture. Although Italians, and I'm from Ecuador, raised in Spain, so we share a lot of similarities to South European countries. But it's also about the nature of the character, his personality and his background, and how he's really trying to fit in a city like Berlin for him, because he's kind of old-fashioned. Like, he comes from Sicilia in Italy. That's a very conservative place in the country. Really warm, really good food. And food is also a very important part of the show, and it's a very good way to show diversity and multiculturalism.
I mean, we were talking about before this, so we were talking about food and migration, how food connect people together.
Exactly, that's going to be in play. Sorry, that's going to be in play in this sitcom a lot, because on every given day, there are different food from different cultures. So today we might be eating Italian, tomorrow might be Turkish, next tomorrow might be food from Chile, Africa. So we're changing the menu on the table. Mike,
depending on the character.
Depending on the story of that day.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be like the focus on each chapter, also like on the food, and also eating connects the cultures, because you all sit together in a place to eat, and then you have to interact and talk about the food and your country and how the food is made, or the taste, or is it too spicy or not. That we also talk about that in the episode. So yeah,
that's amazing. Paula, you've made mention in the beginning that you're like just an year in Berlin, and this is your first project to be part of. But then, like we said, once an actress is an actress, right?
That's true.
So might not so be difficult. Do you find yourself belonging in a diverse and multicultural community like Berlin, like it's portrayed in the series?
Yes, actually, I'm always, I mean, at first, diving into the Berlin experience, it can be shocking. I think coming from South America, we're different in all ways. But during this year, I've been very grateful, and Berlin has been very nice to me. People from all around the world had came into my life, and the friends that you make here end up being your family in the end, and that's very beautiful, the kind of connection. I never imagined I could be sister friends with people from Spain, Ecuador, Nigeria, and Latin friends all around the world. Here we have Argentina. My roomies are Chilean and actually, yeah, random plot twist. Portuguese, Mexican, Colombian, Peruvian.
So you found your community quite quickly.
Very easily, and yeah, angels from Berlin.
Nice.
And so it's been a nice and beautiful experience till the moment. Yeah.
Amazing. Michael, of course, being an African playing a character, were you the one selling car, or is the other guy? Where's the car dealer? You're the car dealer.
I'm the car dealer.
Are you? Yes. Usually, Africans will send very, very...
very African.
I mean, like cars that are like almost like... I remember one of my friends was, aber niemand, das Auto hat keinen TÜV. And I was like, no problem, it's going to Africa to send it. Are you that type of car dealer?
I am that type of car dealer that tries to give fair price to my customers. Get them what they can afford, because not everybody can afford that other type, like it's clean and so we are here to ease the burden of the masses. We try to get cheaper cars, affordable one for them, so I have my friend, and because he's like my junior brother, because he came in and I took him. He's so smart, so now I he goes out. Whenever he goes out, he comes back to me. He's like my small younger brother. I take him into my family. So he was working with me. He does his things. He works with me. He gets through my contact, through my connection. He started to make online calls and get customers from Africa. Beautiful. Yes.
It's a double business,
So it's a double business, double profit. That's amazing. How you guys do these things. And Samson, how do you actually manage a diverse team like this? Like, how does the whole production took you?
I think I'm just lucky. These are the best people to work with.
Okay.
It has been a smooth ride, and I think first of all, when you meet people who are looking to get a goal, if they are goal-getters. So it makes it easier to work with because they are already in a particular direction.
Craft,
so these people are professionals in their own right already. So if you give them the material to work with, like Paula came on stage, I didn't have time, I was busy shooting, and I took her to the side and I told her, okay, this. Few lines, and she picked it up and ran with it. And Michael, for example, is not just an actor on the set. He is part of the production team and working out through. Anthony is the same thing. They're all organizing. We all understood the limited resources that we have, but we all wanted to make this happen, and then we are driving towards it. So if you have a team of professionals that are determined and want to get to somewhere.
Actually, I like to point this out that Michael is the singer from the song of the of the series, and and it's very funny how we found out because they were playing on set the song, and I was like, wow, this is amazing! I'm gonna Shazam this song. Who's singing it? And Michael was next to me, and he was like, oh yeah, it's me. I'm like, what? You singer too? Yeah, I did this. And then he showed me a video clip, and he was singing. I was like, wow, this is amazing. That could be in the radio, that song. I loved it, and he's such a talented person. Yeah. And he was like super humble, like, yeah, I did it.
The good thing is every song that is the soundtracks on this we had an agreement that we are going to use songs from musicians that are based in Germany.
Okay.
So every music you hear on the sitcom is from musicians that are based in Germany, either African or whatever. I'm just finding out also that I'm just finding out here right now that Paula is a musician also, and I'm saying, okay, why didn't we get this? You know, and I hopefully she will perform in our next coming screening of the film in Berlin here on the 17th. The Berlin Film Festival is coming up, and we want to tap into the whole stuff to screen our movie. So we are screening in Berlin. Check out Tolu Family Berliners. If you're out there, check it out, and then follow us to find out where we are screening. So there are lots of information out there. So we are screening on the 17th. Join us. It's going to be film viewing together, then after party, and there are food in that place. You can come and taste some nice food also. Like
something, I'll send you an invoice.
Yes, please.
You need my permission first to do your advertisement.
No, I'm just saying, this is part of the discussion, isn't it?
No, you wait, I asked. But anyway, I'll send my invoice, and you can send the payment, right? No problem. It's also amazing as well, reading through your biographies, what all of you do. And I'm like, wow, what a multi-talent. And it's also interesting to hear from Samson, like, or Anthony, that you detect that a colleague, it's actually this and that, and you don't know this before, and they're so humble about it and didn't even talk about it, right? This is really amazing. But maybe I'd like to ask Michael, I've heard that you sing, you act, you direct as well.
And he's a writer also.
You write.
He has children's books.
Okay. How did you find your way? Of course, we are all immigrants, right? How did you find your way in the entertainment industry? And
I actually I had some past, because when I was living at the asylum facility, I lived there for 6 years, and I had to struggle with some difficult time. And so I even had some therapy. So I discovered music was the only medicine that I could use to take care of my deficiencies. And yeah, so that was when I discovered music, started to get myself busy with music, and it relieved me. Yeah. And I was writing a lot then. And so I was just writing at random. So later I could channel the writing through the help of the music, because I started to write songs. And coming into the film, I was working at a restaurant, at the theater in Bremen. And it happened that one actor didn't make it to the premiere, and so they had to search for a black person who could play that role. Otherwise, it's going to mess up. So I was just a waiter, and they asked me if I could just go on the stage and just cover that part. So that was how I accepted my boss. I told him, okay, yeah. I went on the stage, and And after the premiere, I was celebrated, and that was how I became an actor. I started from there, from Bremen, 2011 or so, 12. And I started, and then later some guys came from Hamburg. They came and did a documentary film about my story. And those guys now started to recommend me to some production. So that was how I now got into the industry entirely in Germany here. And yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations on that. We look forward to more in-depth knowing about what you do and all that. But then again, when we talk about acting, and of course a Nigerian, that's it. So it's easily quite easy how you catch up from doing your work as a waiter and then all of a sudden on stage, and then I'm sure you nailed it. This is why you're here. So tell them you're Nigerian. That's the power of, that's the beauty of being a Nigerian.
Michael is not only Nigerian. Michael's story is very unique because how I met him also, I met him on a platform in Berlin here. Okay. You know, Michael's story is woven through, I think it's a long story to discuss here, but his story is woven through being a child soldier in Sierra Leone War and up to here. That's how I get to know, because I met him in an event, and he was talking because he was introducing his children's book then, and he was talking about it. So I met him there, and his story is very, very unique, and somehow we connected because I am a writer. I also have children's books and all the stuff. So we connected from there. We held on to each other, and then our connection grew from there. And we had always been back and forth discussing just the way I'm doing with Anthony. My friends, they know me. If you become my friend, you know me also. If you become my friend, I become
you are a runaway friend from me.
I become a leech because I always want to share ideas. If I have my idea, I always like to test it on people to see their reaction because I feed off reactions. So I'm a leech. I disturb Anthony a lot, and so I disturb Michael. And also Paula, I call her from time to time, and you know that already.
You never call me. No, I'm not going to get you that credit. I'm going to invoice you, and that's it. He's a runaway friend. He is. Antonia, how did you find yourself in Berlin? Like, what's your connection to the diverse and multicultural community of Berlin? Why Berlin?
Actually, coming here was a very crazy story. I was planning going to the totally opposite way of Germany. I wanted to go, I was living in Hanover, and I wanted to go to Köln, but things changed, so I came to Berlin, and to be honest, I didn't like Berlin before, but then I came here, and I thought like, wow, this is the best place for me, because as my colleague said, you come here and you feel included at the first moment, respected, you know, you can be yourself, but you can feel also Berliner as you come here. So I work also in a very multicultural environment, outside acting, and so I loved it. I mean, it's really nice because you're in different countries, different people, and different habits, and you're always learning something different, and it makes you also more aware about people's backgrounds and habits, and that makes you also more rich as a person.
And Paula, as well, why Berlin? I mean, you're an established actress in Chile. I mean, where you're from, in the Spanish region and so on, and all of a sudden Berlin, to a country where you don't speak the language, right?
Actually, plot twist, I was born in Bochum, Germany.
Yeah, you didn't know that? We didn't know that.
You're surprised.
That's the story.
Ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen. But then I left there at 3. I was 3, I think. We moved back to Chile with my family. And so I didn't lose the language. They put me in a German school. But I haven't speak German in 11, 12 years. So I finished theater school, and I said to myself, okay, let's see what the world has to give. And I came here just to see what kind of doors
So it was home away from home, and now, boom, you just belong in that.
Let me add a bit to that, because, you know, when she says that now, I didn't know she was born here. But when the character... Mike, I remember I discussed with you, Anthony, also. When she had to replace the person that was supposed to play her character, and she came in with this. The person that was supposed to play her was supposed to be a German accent, a full German accent.
That's true.
And she came in with this South American accent. So now I need to rewrite the character of that person, because then we played that. Then I wrote that character that she was born in South America, a German family. She was born in South America, and the family decided to come back to Germany and relocate and stay in the villages. So
she's the village girl.
She's the village girl.
It is.
She's the village girl.
Bochum village.
Yeah.
And then she came. She when she grew up in the village, she still kept the South American accent, and now she's coming to the big city. So the big city is a new thing to her now, and then she wants to learn how to connect to various.
To becoming a city girl.
Yeah, it's a pity. Most of the other actors couldn't make it today because they have things to do.
Yeah.
Like Elizabeth couldn't make it, Julie couldn't make it. The MC is also.
Maybe you tell us a bit about the other characters, like what were their characters?
Yeah, okay. Let's go a bit into the characters. First of all, like Elizabeth is playing Chinyere. Chinyere is.
That's a typical Nigerian name, right?
It's a typical Nigerian name.
Chinyere, yeah.
The funny thing is, it's really funny. These two couples, they are not actually married. Michael is playing
the car dealer.
Akin. Mike is playing Akin. My head is just really full. And Michael came from Africa. He came here, got himself sorted out, and started the car business. But he's just a secondary school certificate holder. And he's not a churchgoer, but was invited to the church for a child dedication now. And that's where he met his girl. Okay. Chinyere, that is played by Elizabeth.
And Chinyere was the one who was saying the way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Yeah.
But isn't that an African proverb?
Yes, an typical African program.
Yeah, that is typical. But do you believe that as a white person?
What a question.
The
thing is, the African culture, we believe in this so much. I don't.
If you want to get to a man, stomach.
To get to a man's heart is through his stomach.
We also, I mean,
almost every African believes this, and I'm not sure I believe this.
In the Latin culture,
because you're an African. Sorry.
In the Latin culture, we also had that kind of thoughts because we were also kind of old-fashioned in that way, like women like cooking in the kitchen,
But does that mean that? Sorry, not to quote you. That does mean that, like in Africa, men don't belong in the kitchen. Not all African, but mostly West. Women, the kitchen is for women. And the household.
I think in North Africa also, not in the West.
I know typically West, not all Africans. So this is why maybe we have this belief that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, because you're cooking every day.
Yeah, we also have that expression too in Spanish. And I mean, now that those things are changing too. I mean, now we say like the way to a person's heart is the stomach, because it's also appreciated now that everyone can cook. Everyone loves a good cook.
You can order food now. You can order food everywhere now. So.
Something? Can you cook?
I can, but I always prefer. I feel a woman's food is better. They cook better. Now, from the culture that I come from,
that's the typical African way coming out from him. The woman should cook. I'm sure you also struggle trying to know how to cook.
It's not the woman should cook. I just feel they cook better.
Yeah, because you don't learn it there.
I can cook some.
Yeah, you start cooking when you are abroad.
Yeah, actually,
that's it. So for us men, now you see in the first episode, this is what we were talking. We were talking about food, and then the idea of from my culture, men are not allowed. It's a taboo for a man.
Really?
It's a taboo for a man to get in the kitchen. But I mean, now things are changing a bit.
But that's the discussion that was going on the first thing you see there now. They were discussing about this because the other girl. Lupita, she's from East Africa, and I think that culture is really relaxed in East Africa.
East Africa is too westernized.
She didn't understand why you worshiping this man. You know?
Yeah, like you have to be submissive. You have to be cooking all the time.
So these are all the things.
I'm glad I'm not on the pleasure.
These are all the things we are bringing into the sitcom, and then we want it. to be discussed, but also enjoy, that people will enjoy the comedy in it also and see
the differences.
The differences in all these.
Speaking of comedy or laughing, do you decided to do it a sitcom because you think maybe it's easy to sell or to penetrate such a, I'm not sure if I should use the word conservative, but then very difficult to get in.
The issue is, I just felt we cannot trap the whole story of Berlin in one go.
I mean the comedy part of it. Why do you decide to do it laughable for people to laugh?
People need to laugh. We are too serious in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
We are too
Europe
serious.
is serious. The Western world is serious.
And also, we wanted to create something whereby this is a family show.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very positive, you know, and it's a family thing. It's something you can sit with your wife and kids. It's a relaxing moment. That's why we have the dinner aspect.
Okay.
The dinner is, you know how important, you know, like especially, I don't know, I believe it's the same thing in German culture, in South American culture. Dinner is always important. This is a point when the family meets and then we all have time for each other. So we want to bring that back so that even when the family sits at home to eat their dinner, they can watch this and laugh while enjoying their meals also. You know?
I think laughter connects better than anything. I mean, if you can laugh off yourself, I mean, it makes you more approachable to everyone, and I think that's the reason. That's what's Samson's looking for.
Yeah, well, I think it's also important. Michael, you want to say something?
Yeah, one thing I find fascinating about this project is we're bringing us, because we're living here, so we try to contribute. That is what we are as people, like where I come from. You know, we like to the humor. We like to see humor in everything we do. We like to commit to laugh, to enjoy life. You know, itself. So we have a lot going out there. We have a lot of horror films. We have a lot of action, whatever things going on, and psycho films and sci-fis and stuff like that. So here it's lacking in Berlin. Because we try to create something that we cannot see. We try to create a sitcom that is not there. Because you build something that you offer something that is not there. So that's why this sitcom is so special. Like it's a great project.
And we all grew up with one sitcom or the other. We all have one sitcom that is our the soundtrack to our life. You understand me? And we hope this also will be something some kids will grow up with. And also, so we have a lot of teachable moments in this sitcom, and then it could be part of their life and a learning point also, So
no, I think it's also really important to bring such an aspect. Like you said, people are not happy here. It's too boring. People are too serious. Like it's just work, school, and home. And you met people on the road, especially wintertime. Everybody's like,
It's true.
So it's difficult even trying to see people. So I think it's okay to come together and just create this atmosphere where people would release this other part of their side to be in an environment that is really flexible and make the heart warm. That's quite interesting.
I think it also helps people to relax more about other cultures, because sometimes people, I think, are afraid to be offensive without knowing because of ignorance in the most polite way, that you don't know all cultures. You don't know maybe the capital cities of all the countries in the world, for example. So I think sometimes people are nervous to reach people from other countries and cultures because they don't know if they're gonna say something wrong.
Yeah, and whether they belong, they're accepted.
Yes, because
racism stuff.
Yes, sometimes you can make mistakes without knowing, without having bad intention.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of projects makes it more like reachable. Everything.
Yeah, and also watching the trailer, I saw you, Michael plays his Afrobeat boom boom. Everybody is enjoying. Afrobeat makes everyone high. And then all of a sudden...
It's amazing, Afrobeat's
It can be
amazing.
classic music.
It's amazing. And all of a sudden, boom, this one plays the church music. And
No,
I'm
classic.
like...
It's a classic.
Was classic?
Opera music.
So I'm not music type, so I don't know which is which. For me, it was a church music. And I was like, of course, even if it's me, I would just turn it off. Who is it? Why are we talking about religion? Let's party.
I mean, opera is not always religious, but I think he just wanted to make a tribute to him. It was his clumsy way to celebrate his birthday, I think.
Interesting. Yeah, Samson, let's talk about all the projects that you do. You are a writer, you're a film director, you're into media, a lot of stuff. You're reading about 3 books, all are children books, right?
No, not 2 children books and 1 story about Berlin. I love Berlin. I'm a Berliner. I'm a typical Berliner.
How long have you been here?
I've been in Berlin for a while now, close to
15 years.
15 years, yeah.
And what type of story did you write about Berlin?
Yeah, actually, my first book is called Bunker Laboratory.
Yeah.
It's a love story. It's about the 2006 World Cup that happened in Berlin, and how it went peacefully, because everybody they were apprehensive, thinking there's going to be an attack. But why it went peacefully is because of a love story within a black girl and a Nazi, a neo-Nazi. She saved his life when he was attacked. He and his crew, the Nazi, and their crew were attacking an immigrant business place. And the immigrants, they overpowered them, and he was struck, almost dying. But then, fortunately for him, this black girl found herself there, somewhere, just came across him without knowing the story of what happened. And she called the emergency, and she saved his life. And from there, it grew into a love story, and she was able to convert him from being a Nazi, and she exposed the plan of the Nazi that they were creating bombs to attack the 2006 World Cup, and that's why it went peacefully. So that book is about that. And the other one, my children book, is about, it's called Colors of Love. It's about also, I love diversity. I like to talk about. This is a theme I like to deal with. So this is my side.
That's amazing. So you love Berlin from book, and then now a movie about Berlin with a mixture of diverse cultures and traditions from different continents.
For me, Berlin has been positive for me.
Okay.
So if I see Berlin from a positive perspective, I want to also sell it to people to know that.
And this is what the series is about. It's all a positive aspect, right?
Yeah, it's a positive. It's about our life in Berlin, and Berlin is one city that you can get up and go in the night without thinking something is going to happen to you from behind.
Yeah.
And this for me, this is special.
It's a safe place, right?
It's a safe space, and people are who they are. You can get into the train and you see multitude of colors of how people dress in all forms here in Berlin. And I am that type that I go somewhere, I take in a lot, I'm always biting at things and I'm taking them in. So
that's amazing.
It has been amazing working with these guys, and they're all creative minds in their own rights also. So it's been wonderful.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Anthony, you also made mention of apart from acting, my other job, what else do you do? Or what type of movies are you engaged into aside this project?
I am also a stand-up comedian. Yeah.
Is it Karabet? How do you call it?
Sorry, what did you say?
Stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedian.
Stand-up comedy.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Cabaret, I wanted to say.
No.
It's not that. Okay.
I don't do that yet. Maybe someone asked me to do some, and. So I do stand-up comedy, I do acting, I'm singing also, I'm learning how to sing. I'm also writing scripts, I also like directing. I like the whole creative process, that's right. So I also like to talk to Samson, discuss things of the scripts. So I'm doing all those things. I like dancing too, but I don't have enough hours in the day to do everything. So I have to set some priorities, and
exactly. That's amazing.
Around.
Yeah. And Paula, how do you spend your time aside acting?
I work also as a host in a hotel. How do you call it? at a hotel.
Okay.
And now I'm working in a musical project also with a Chilean actress friend. And we're making some Latin beats and how, because the Latin scene here is also very big.
Yeah.
And also my friend is a DJ. She plays reggaeton, Latin music, and how to insert this new music in the Berliner scene.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Amazing. Michael, how are you, how am I going to say, wie verbringst du deine Zeit in Hannover?
Ich bin eigentlich ja, in Hannover. Ich arbeite gerade an ein Kurzfilmprojekt. Das ist, eigentlich sollte das mein Debütprojekt sein. Da, wo ich bin Executive Producer bei dem Projekt. Und ich arbeite viel an Drehbüchern jetzt in letzter Zeit. So fast quasi jeden Tag. Also wenn ich unterwegs bin, wenn ich nicht am Set bin, dann bin ich dann mit dem Drehbuch beschäftigt. Oder Familie, weil ich habe auch Familie, ich habe meine Frau und Kinder. Und ja, aber jetzt geht vorwärts. So, es geht vorwärts, weil wir sind bald. Ich schreibe, ich habe Projekte. Ich habe auch ein Projekt, die auch von den Nordmedia gefordert, das Treatment gefordert wurde.
Okay.
Ja. Und das ist auch ein anderes Projekt. Ich habe ein Team hier in Hannover, die arbeiten daran. Ich habe noch ein anderes Projekt, ich habe auch ein anderes Team. Das ist auch der Film heißt als Schwarze Liga. So, a lots going on. I'm just like, you know, film. And I work with students too in the schools. I am responsible for kids that have problem with learning.
Okay.
So I try to help everywhere I can. There is a school here in Hannover. It's a secondary school, so I have a specific position there.
Oh,
so
nice.
And besides that, I used to just write and try to make a project come to life.
I love the project part. Just trying to make things come into life. Finally, something where I think we have less than 5 minutes to close. You made mention on the 17th. Next week, I think you're having a film screening. Are you also taking part at the Berlinale Film Festival?
I'm like a rat there. I'm always running around with my cameras and doing all stuff. You know, I just go there and do stuff. You know, so.
Okay.
So since there are a lot of filmmakers going to be in Berlin, so we thought, why not? Why don't we try to introduce Tolu Family and Berliners in the biggest film festival that is happening around Europe? So why not? So we decided to choose a date. I had a discussion with the whole team, and we agreed that this date is a good day, and let's we invite people to come and then have fun, and then because our film is about good times, you know, it's going to be music, food, and everything positive, you know. That's
everything positive, spreading positive vibes. That's actually exactly what Antonio does. How is your energy finally?
The energy is amazing.
I could see that. Finally, you have
wonderful.
anything to throw out before we close?
Sorry, what do you say?
Do you have finally anything to say before we close?
First of all, thank you for inviting us here. It's been really nice, and I really enjoyed time here. And I'm just encourage people to watch the series, and we hope we can move on with the project and keep on portraying the multicultural difference from Berlin. And I wish you all have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Paula, finally.
Also, thanking you for having us. And yeah, the same.
Yeah.
Go and watch it on the 16th or the 17th? 17th, please.
17th.
And
Yes.
everything is online. We have just check out Tolu Family and Berliners on all online platforms.
Okay, it's already online because that was going to be my next question.
Let me go about that. We are on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, every online platform. Just type in Tolu Family Berliners. You'll find tidbits and things there that you can just. So please share, like, and support us over there. We need that.
Share, like, and support us, of course. Michael, finally, are we expecting you in Berlin soon? Yeah,
I will be at the Berlinale. I am presenting a film of mine. That's going to be my first feature film.
Okay.
And because it's international, so we're searching for international co-production companies and stuff. And so I'm going to be at the Berlinale 2 days. First with the Nord Media, and second I'm going to be at this international program. That's my friend and my team are fixing it. And so before I say, I just want to say you're doing an amazing work.
Thank you.
Job. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful to see. I'm so glad to see people like you. Like a mentor for many of the youths out there. It's so beautiful.
Thank you so very much. Do you know, just by listening to your stories, I got just inspired by you, by all of you. But especially you mentioned at the beginning, you said, I was at an asylum camp for 6 years, and then with all these traumas and so on, and then, jumping or tumble up from there to now. I would love to have you on my podcast, Unfiltered, to talk in-depthly about all that you've achieved. I think it's really amazing, and all of you, aside the Nyimas Bantaba, I also have the Unfiltered podcast that we do more of like profiling of people that are doing amazing work from all across of life. And I'm glad that I'm always meeting amazing people. And this is exactly what the Nyimas Bantaba does, right? Not just talking about issues on migration and so on, but then connecting people. Like today we've got to know about, she was born in Germany.
Plot twist of the season.
We didn't know about that before.
You see? And we got to know, of course, already that he's not Italian, but then... And we got to know that he's an amazing great, not just a car dealer, but into so many different things. And we got to know again more that Samson is just writing and getting onto people. Nima, you need to push this out, and he's not paying this. So that's the power.
It's just that I know how powerful Nima is. All right, you meet people and you know how powerful and connected they are. I've troubled her. She has taken me to a lot of places. I'm that pusher. I'll disturb her till she takes me to where I want to get to. So I want to say thank you, Nima. I would say you're special. You're very, very special, and you're doing a good job.
Thank you so very much. You're also doing a good job. That's all we have for you on our today's edition of Nyimas Bantaba. Bantaba is actually a traditional meeting point where people sit together and chat like we did today. The name Bantaba is actually driven from the word of a big tree, which actually people sit under and discuss on diverse issues within the community. The term comes from Mandinka, my mother tongue, but is mostly spoken in Gambia and Senegal. Today we have looked at the diverse horizons, uniting through laughter, a journey to Berlin's Tolu Family Sitcom comedy series. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Das ist alles, was wir für euch heute auf Nyimas Bantaba. Bleiben Sie dran, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.